What is up, everybody? Woo, 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 woo. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to The Guided Life. I'm your host, Matt Trotz. Joining me tonight, I always do the fist bump, Charlie Wanty. Charlie is here. He's the program lead for Waupaca Learn to Hunt. We're going to get into all that tonight, but first I want to catch up on some of the comments. Dylan Williams, you are in the right place. So if you're watching this, you're on tgltv.com. I appreciate everybody over there. And let's fire up the questions. Let's get a lot of things going on. We want to educate everybody on turkey hunting, getting into turkey hunting, everything about the Learn to Hunt program. You know, the Wisconsin DNR puts that on. So we're going to get into all that with Charlie. But before I get into that kind of stuff, I got to give a big shout out to The Real Shot. And they actually gave me some information that I want to read for you tonight. So I rely on a lot of great equipment that The Real Shot provides. Most of the Guided Life trips, I shouldn't say most, all the Guided Life trips, I'm using 99.9% of the equipment from the store The Real Shot provides for me. So they got some cool stuff going on right now. Because we're talking turkey tonight, they got 20% off turkey hunting supplies. That's decoys, calls, everything like that. That runs until March 20th. And then there's ice fishing apparel. There's up to 40 to 50% off ice fishing apparel. That season's kind of running. We want to try to get rid of some of that stuff. So you can find that online and in store. The other thing too is there's 3 new of the limited edition Rip and Wraps that are dropping tomorrow at 9 a.m. on the website and in store. I think Mike Williams is going to be doing a live telling everybody about the 3 new limited edition Rip and Wraps. And one last final thing is, I got to read this verbatim to make sure I don't mess this up. So as a special offer to the Guided Life fans, because you are the best fans, anyone that heads over to therealshot.com and places an order of $100 or more on regular priced items will receive $20 off. In order to do that, you have to type in TGLTV 20. I got to read this. It's TGLTV in the promo box, and it's 2020 in the checkout box, and you get $20 off. So thanks so much to The Real Shot. Make sure to check them out on their socials and online at therealshot.com. So let's get right into it. So Charlie, I got some questions here I want to get into, but
Let's do it.
First of all, tell us a little bit about you and kind of how you got into like the Learn to Hunt and the turkey hunt and everything like that.
Yeah, awesome. So kind of a unique story. I think what's cool with me, now that I'm the program director for the Learn to Hunt, I actually got introduced to turkey hunting through this exact program. So I shot my first turkey through the program in like 2005. I didn't grow up in a hunting family, grew up in the outdoors, you know, lived by public land, was more of not a hunter, but an outdoors kid.
Yep.
And as I got older, my buddies were hunting, and I just wanted to get into it. And, you know, long story short, middle school, learned to hunt. One of my good buddies and wrestling partners' dad, Brian Cullen, and a few other guys, local guys, Waupaca guys, some Stelzners, Jerry, John Spearings. Hopefully I didn't forget anybody.
Yeah, those great guys.
Those are kind of the OGs.
What's Corey's last name?
Corey Anderson.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually shot my first turkey with
Corey. Yep.
So got into the program, shot my first turkey. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was a Jake. It was on the second day of the Sunday. It's a 2-day hunt. Just kind of fast forward, you got to be 18 years old to mentor. You know, I shot my first turkey when I'm 12, get addicted, just get into turkey hunting, love it, kind of end up going to Nebraska and just Missouri and doing all this cool stuff. And then I was old enough to be a mentor.
Yep.
So Brian, when I was old enough, started mentoring and just loved it. It was one of my favorite weekends of the year, and, you know, mentored for, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. I know I missed a couple years because of the youth state wrestling tournament.
Yep.
There's a little crossover there. My bias did go to wrestling there. But somewhere in, man, with this COVID and we've missed a couple of years, I think I took over the program in, it's 2022, right? I don't know, 2016.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be off a year or two. And all the guys who started the program are still on the board and still active. So those guys have been doing it for 20 years.
20 years, and that's so. I think I remember when you were a hunter.
Yeah.
I think that might have been like my first year or so as a mentor, and I mean just the connections that I've made. You know, you and I have stayed connected through this program, and you know, like you said though, it's fun to see some of the return. You know, hunters now are mentoring.
It's my favorite.
It's the best, man. Like,
it's awesome.
When I first got into this, well, look, okay, before we get into that, what is exactly the Learn to Hunt program?
So that's actually a great question because a lot of people confuse the Learn to Hunt with the Youth Hunt.
Yep.
They're exactly how they sound. Youth Hunt is for the youth.
Yep.
Learn to Hunt doesn't have an age limit, which is awesome. You just have had to have never shot a turkey before. So
right.
My dad actually did the program.
So did mine.
So it's for first time, well, not necessarily first time turkey hunters, but people who haven't shot a turkey yet. It's a state program, but they kind of give us a lot of control. So we actually get to pick our weekend, and we always choose the weekend before the youth hunt, so we don't have any any crossover with mentors or property or stuff like that. So the Learn to Hunt, and you also don't have to have your hunter safety. I know there's a lot of rules and regs now. I don't even know if that's a law anymore.
But but like you said though, this is a Wisconsin state program.
It's a state program.
You can look up the Learn to Hunt on the WIDNR page.
Correct.
And figure out, because like you're a part of the Waupaca Longbeards chapter, right?
You know what? Technicality. I don't think we have any affiliation.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, Brian Cullen or
Yeah.
Mr. Stelzner, but we're actually kind of our own little thing.
Well, and the reason I ask that is because, like, for anybody that's interested, like, if you go to that on the website, like, you could get your own portion of this or your own chapter of it, right?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's like anything. People are always looking for volunteers and stuff like that. So, I think, I mean, they're always, you know, we're Waupaca Learn to Hunt, but we actually talked about changing our name at one point. It's like Waupaca area.
Yes.
I mean, I have mentors from Amherst, Stevens Point, Almond, Waupaca, Fremont, etc.
Yeah.
Right? You know, so it's really Waupaca area, and the participants come from
all over.
I mean,
the
we've had
state.
people from Madison, Milwaukee. People get hotels. We've been told, I'm not claiming this, but we've been told we have one of the biggest and the best Learn to Hunts.
Yeah.
So, but the Learn to Hunt itself is a 2-day hunt, and in order to do the hunt, you have to do a 4-hour educational kind of course that we host the Thursday before the hunt.
Yep.
We always do it the Thursday before.
So what are the dates for this year right now?
Oh, geez, I think I have to pull it
April,
up.
Is
that
it
bad?
April 9th and 10th?
Can I pull my phone
Yeah,
up?
go for it, man.
Yeah,
You
it's
should
the
be
9th
taking pictures and sharing
Yeah.
this. Have you shared it? Tell everybody.
Yeah.
Go.
So
I think it's April 9th
April
and 10th.
9th and 10th, and then our event night is April 7th.
7th.
Yep, and we host that. Brooks Farms hosts us.
Great facility, man.
A lot of people know them. They're south of Fleet Farm, in
Yep.
Waupaca. They've been awesome to us. They've hosted us the last few years. We kind of bounced around a little bit looking for a home, but they've been awesome. So that Thursday night, it's 4 hours. Everybody. So I pair, you know, to keep it simple. I'm kind of the middleman. People sign up, so I have a list of hunters, and then I recruit mentors, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So they're getting a full-fledged, great experience. So Thursday night, the hunters meet their mentors,
Yep.
exchange numbers. We go out on the range with their gun, make sure we're crossing T's and dotting I's, shooting bullseyes. We host dinner. We get the DNR and the wardens come and just kind of give their, you know, education and information. The local biologist, Jake, which rumor has he might not be able to make it this year, so I got to do a little shuffling. But our local biologist kind of explains just, you know, turkeys and you know, they weren't here for a while, and the reintroduction. This is, I feel like I'm being tested. Was that in the 80s or the 90s? You know, people growing up 30, 40 years ago didn't see flocks and turkeys.
And every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something.
Me too.
And I'm always amazed, especially when the biologists talk,
Yeah.
that just like some of the staggering numbers of like the survival rate for a male turkey. Like, it's not very good.
Well, not when you and I are out in the woods.
Well, sometimes it's really good for them. There's other years it's bad.
I've had some tough years and I've had some really good years.
Right.
But yeah, that night we do, you know, meet the mentors, go to the range. warden talks, biologist talks. We have another guy that just kind of goes through gear and, just calls and the different types of calls. And we show what a female is and a male. We have another guy that usually talks about etiquette. Just, hey, gaining permission on private property in today's world is just getting tougher.
It is.
And liability and insurance. And it's kind of crazy, but Brian gives a great talk on respect and etiquette.
Yep.
If you get permission on a chunk of land, this is what you should do.
Yes.
Especially in the spring with ruts and gates and cattle and
well, just the biggest thing that I've taken from when they do these talks about this is like this land is like they're volunteering their property.
Yeah.
Try not to go back and knock on that door and be like, well, hey, I had really good luck. Can I come here and hunt again later on in the year? Like, respect it. They are, because they understand that it's somebody learning and somebody new to the program. A lot of these land owners are like, sure, for this reason and that reason only. Now, yes, you can make some connections further on, but don't abuse the fact that they're opening up their land for this reason.
And we were talking on the phone earlier today, and I said one of the things I love the most about the Learn to Hunt, which is a little not selfish, but it's cool that landowners are opening their doors for 48 hours. That this is land. It's great hunting.
Yep.
And they only for the Learn to Hunt they'll open it up, and for everybody else it's closed. And we're it's so awesome. We're blessed with we really only operate with good mentors and good property. That's kind of the core. Without that, if we don't have property or mentors, I could have 40 people signed up. But
yeah, and then where do you go? I mean, the other cool thing about that is like the access is some really good public land.
Yeah.
I mean, and Waupaca will share some of those counties where this is kind of centralized. Doesn't mean you got to be there in those specific counties, but my sons have gone through this. My daughter has gone through this program. My dad has gone through this program. And the cool thing is yes, like you said, you get access to some private land before the seasons actually start, and the turkeys they're wide open. I mean, they're ready to roll for spring sometimes. Yeah. But then, like, one of my oldest son shot a jake on public land, and the birds they weren't pressured at all yet.
I mean, and that's what's cool about with the state. They let us pick our date. I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah.
We're the first people to hunt them, unless Warden Kaiser. There might be a few other people, but John's got them under control. So we're getting the first crack at it. Yep. And it's awesome.
It is awesome. So we're going to talk about this a bunch of times, but like for the people that may be interested, where do they got to go to get connected with you?
Yeah. So really, we just push everybody to our Facebook page. That's the easiest. My number's on there. Message there. Get signed up there. Learn more information. Shoot me a message. I'll shoot you our flyer. It's probably on our Facebook too, but we just push everybody to our Facebook page.
And that's just Waupaca Learn to Hunt, right?
Waupaca Learn to Hunt.
Yep. Keep it simple and go over there.
The profile picture is a kid with a turkey. Imagine that.
Yeah. Well, and we're going to share some awesome pictures and kind of give you an idea of what that really looks like. But I know you hit on this, but you said for the hunters themselves, there's really no age qualification, right?
You know what?
Well, it might be whatever the state is. So like 10.
And we try. Yeah, we keep it at 10. I know there's some laws and regulation. It's almost a revolving stuff. We keep it at 10.
10, right. So and what I mean too is like, if you're 10 or if you're 55 or older or anywhere in between, like this isn't just a youth program. This is anybody interested in turkey hunting.
Yeah, and one thing I think that's really cool that I've noticed is a little bit of a trend. We get a solid amount of people in their upper 20s, lower 30s.
Yep.
Which is, I married into a family. They're hunters. I'm 28, 29, 30, 31. Have no idea what I'm doing, but I like it. It's cool. I want that experience, and this is a great place to get that one-on-one. And a lot of people too that have kids, a lot of people like to bring their kid to this program. It's kind of like coaching a sport,
Yes.
The kids don't listen to mom or dad; they listen to coach or teacher.
Yes.
So we've had people come in. Actually, I had a mother-son combo. And their dad's a mentor, but their first turkey experience was with me.
Yep.
So he was like, I just don't want to, I want it to be fun. I don't want anybody to push them. You take them. So, and we actually ended up getting a double. That was awesome.
Well, how often does that happen too? Like son or daughter gets signed up, and then the next year mom or dad are a part of it as well.
You know, I feel like everybody who signs up is some way a repeat customer. It's a friend or a brother or a sister, or like you said, I mean, people just, it's a great time.
Yep.
And the energy is awesome, and everybody who's there wants to be there. And I was telling you on the phone, like my favorite thing is Saturday morning when we usually have about 25 hunters. You know, on a good morning, we'll get 8, 9 turkeys. On a bad one, maybe 1 or 2. But even then, just hearing the kids and the hunters, just their excitement, and they're telling the stories, and their descriptions are, one was all big, you know, they're still, the strutting, and they're just like, the thing was dangling, and it's just awesome, you know.
Either that or like we had a deer basically come into the blind, you know, we saw coyotes, we saw wolves. I mean, this is, it really, and this is one thing that I kind of like to emphasize is it's not about the harvest in this situation, it's about the education.
Absolutely.
And it's getting somebody else that, and I like to look at it too, it's like they may not have that avenue, how do I get into this? Or I'm a little nervous to ask the questions. I feel like I'm intimidated a little bit. No, man, this is the reason the mentors are here is because they want to educate.
Yeah.
They want you to be successful, but you got to remember, that's not, it's part of the goal, but that's not the long term. The end goal is not to be shoot a turkey. It's to teach you the ropes, and then their youth hunt the following weekend, you can go out and do that, with mom or dad or aunt or uncle, whoever it may be.
And I remember I did the Learn to Hunt, and I remember even calling Brian Cullen, what's next?
Yep.
How do I buy a tag? I didn't know anything. He let me borrow his gun, you know, so just, that's awesome. And, you know, one thing that I kind of feel like I take a lot of pride in is, you know, not everybody that comes through our program is going to turn into a lifelong hunter. But, and I don't want to bring politics into this, but what I want is people to have a great experience with hunters and outdoorsmen.
Yep.
And you know what? Along the way, in 20 years, there might be a big vote for public land or something.
Yeah,
right?
I know what you're talking about.
I want that person to be like, gosh, I'm not a hunter, but my dad put me through the Learn to Hunt, and those guys were awesome. And I don't want them to.
Right.
I'm for them.
Right.
You know, I'm pro conservation, hunter, whatever you
all
want
of
to
that
say.
kind of stuff.
You know, so I just giving people a good experience.
That's a great point.
You know?
I never even thought about that.
I do. Just because I don't know where it came from, but evolved. But not everybody, you know, kind of, I'm a wrestling coach. Not everybody's going to be an Olympian or whatever, but you want to turn them into good people. And it's that same, you know, that same transfer of just having a good experience.
The conservation part of it, that's
Absolutely.
huge. I mean, you think about it, like we're coming off of ice season right now, and the one thing that ticks me off the most is when you go out and there's garbage on the lakes or on our properties or in the public land. It's like, you know, even if you're not a hunter or a fisher person or anything like that, if you see that stuff and you understand what it is doing, you're going to be more inclined to say, listen, that's not right, or pick that up, or whatever you got to do. The conservation part of what we're trying to educate everybody on as well is a great point.
Yeah, and you know, speaking about just impact in the program, I'll never forget this, and it's still been a key to my success today, because I've killed a lot of turkeys, and I love it. But Brian Cullen kind of gives the etiquette talk every year. So I'm 31.
Yep.
You know, I'm not a rock, but I did this program when I was 14, we'll say. I'm just, you know, roughly. And pick up your trash. If you find a shed antler, that's not yours.
Right.
You know, go show the property owner, hey, I found this antler. 9 out of 10 times, they're going to tell you to keep it.
Right.
But pick up, it's just because it's not yours, leave it better than you found it. And
that's right.
You know, Brian Cullen had a big impact on a thank you card. Doesn't matter if you shoot a turkey. Knock on their door, shake their hand, look them in the hand and say, hey, thank you. Leave a card, maybe a gift card if you can swing it, right? But it's not about that. You know, it's such a huge thing.
Yeah, and
you know?
I'm just, everything you're saying right now is, I can tell the impact that this program had on you alone.
Yeah.
And it's had the same effect on me. You know, I wasn't I didn't turn hunter to mentor, but you know, like everything you're referencing starts back to the very first day, to the next year, to the year after that, to the year after that, of this kind of set the pace for you as an outdoorsman.
Yeah,
and what you want everybody else to learn as well.
Absolutely, and I was a big athlete.
Yep.
I say big, not in stature.
Yeah.
You can't tell because I'm sitting down here. But behind every good athlete's a good coach.
Yep.
And that it's that translation's there. I like going hunting. I'm a relatively successful hunter if you're looking into kills, which that's not what it's about.
Right.
But the reason I have been successful is because I was taught how to door knock.
Yes.
It's hard to do. I'm a shy guy, but we did it in the Learn to Hunt, and I remember shooting my bird and having to write a thank you card, and I remember knocking on the door. I don't think he was there, but just that's hard.
Yeah.
I think most people.
It's intimidating.
It's intimidating, but I go to Nebraska. We were just talking about that, turkey hunting. And I get on properties from door knocking and treating people right, sending them cheese and sausage trays in the holiday, and that's what it's about, right? Because if you don't, most people don't have permission or private property, right? I don't know. You probably don't own any land. I
do now.
Do
yes.
You? Okay.
Yeah, I do now.
Well,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
most people aren't fortunate enough. And for me, I own 3 acres in a house.
Yep.
Everywhere I hunt is somebody else's private property.
Yep.
So just taking that very seriously.
So you keep referencing like Brian, and so the mentor portion of it, like you're obviously looking for mentors.
Yeah.
And what is the qualifications to be a mentor?
Sure. So to be a mentor, and we're always looking for mentors. I mean, we can be as big as mentors. So if I only have 10 people that are willing to be a mentor, I can only sign up 10 hunters. To be a mentor, you have to be at least 18. I do need to get your license and
a background check.
Background check.
Yep.
So
I think that's great.
Everybody who signs up, rest assured, background checks. So the state obviously assists in that, making sure. And then I believe it's 5 years turkey hunting experience.
Okay.
A turkey hunter,
yeah,
right? Making sure. That's how you become a mentor.
And that, again, just go to Waupaca Learn to Hunt on Facebook, and that makes a lot of sense to me because there's guns being operated.
Yeah.
And when you're doing a background check obviously for certain reasons, but being a good person, a good individual, you don't want people that break the law while they're doing this kind of stuff because we're mentoring somebody else on, and you don't want somebody that's going to cut a corner just to be successful.
And just kind of on that, we've had accidents happen in the Waupaca Learn to Hunt.
Yep.
We've had things happen, and do the right thing. It's happened in our program. Kids shot 2 birds before on accident. We all know how turkey hunting is.
Yes.
No, one on the right, one on the left, right, middle. What?
Yep.
It gets crazy. So just, we want good people, and at the end of the day, I'd rather have. We put a lot of pride on this. It's my name, it's the board's name, it's everybody's name. And, I'd rather have 15 good mentors than just be this huge program.
Yeah.
So rest assured, our mentors are top-notch guys and girls.
Well, you and I are mentors, so obviously that you can see the quality level of it.
Right?
It's way up here.
And you know what? We have a few female mentors. I just love it. I want if you're a lady and you're watching this and you are a turkey hunter, sign up, get a hold of me. I think we have 2 right now, 2 female mentors, roughly off the top of my head. But I love that.
And I'll be honest with you, the ladies are typically a little more successful than the guys because they're more patient. When we're sitting in the blind as a man, we're like, oh, he's over there, let's make the sneak on him. And the woman's like, let's just hold off a little bit. They might come over here, and they are. That's the patience. I'm not lying about this. My wife can blood trail better than I can.
Sure.
They're just pay attention to details a lot more. We're just out there like caveman style, like ooga ooga, let's just kill the bird. No, the ladies are good. So I do like that point. I know Megan's listening, and Megan's in the studio right now. Megan, you should sign up. You would be great at this program. You should definitely be a part of the Waupaca Learn to Hunt.
We got her.
Yeah. She's and Andy, the producer, would be a great person. He's never turkey hunted a day in his life.
Yep, and he's helping produce
outdoor content.
Yeah, outdoor
so
content.
he could be a part of Andy. Charlie and I will mentor you, Andy, or anybody else. He's down. Yeah, we got the. So there we go.
I'm pretty excited. I'm taking a young man about my age this year.
Yep.
I think I'm claiming him. He's 34. We're borrowing an action track chair.
Oh,
So
awesome.
I'm pumped for that.
Yes.
So there's another little plug. Like, I don't want to be politically incorrect, disabled. If you have something that makes you not move well or see well or hear well, we're going to make it happen.
Yep.
Call me, give me a little bit of heads up. Hey, my son or daughter or
Anybody.
Broken leg, they're on crutches, they're
Yep.
in a wheelchair, whatever. Like, let's make it happen.
Well, and you got to understand, so this is April 9th and the 10th, right? So depending on what Mother Nature decides to do, the weather could be a little warm, it could be cold, it could be everything out of between. But because there's youth and everybody that's learning, typically most of the hunting is done out of a ground blind.
Most seasoned veterans want I shouldn't say a young squirrely hunter, but there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
We got to keep them hidden. So
Well, yeah, so
not a ground blind.
So it's a ground blind. So if you don't have a ton of camouflage, if you don't have equipment, like you guys have some equipment you can provide.
Our mentor, honestly, we just make it happen.
Yep.
Guns, we have them. Every mentor has, let's be honest,
Yeah.
a couple turkey guns.
Tough, yes.
A couple.
Now, ammo
So-
might be the hard part to find this year, but
Yeah.
the real shot's
Right?
got ammo.
Well,
so
I do
anyway.
like taking archery, guys.
Yes.
So
Crossbows?
we have done crossbows.
Gun
yeah.
crossbows. So so anything, as long as it's legal in the state of Wisconsin to harvest a turkey with, it's legal through the program,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Yeah, rules and regs all follow.
Yep.
Everything's kind of the same other than us kind of getting to pick our date.
Right.
Getting a special tag.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. It's a special tag. So
Yep, it's a state issued. It's nothing. Yeah. Here's another cool, quick plug. This program, 100% free.
you beat me right to my next question.
I can't even.
You
read
can't.
it.
Well, nobody can read my
It's
handwriting.
free.
It's free.
It's nothing. There's no strings
Meals
attached.
are free.
Meals. The whole event night.
tag
Yeah,
is
Thursdays there's
free.
a meal. The tag's free.
Yep.
Saturday and Sunday we have a meal. It's free. There's awesome. Even if you're just a participant, you get entered into drawings. We have decoys and guns raffled off and crossbows and all sorts of stuff.
Yes.
So it's just and each hunter gets a gear bag that has a face mask and a call and a turkey book. So the whole thing, there's just no strings attached.
You and the team that's a part of this, you guys do a phenomenal job. I mean, it is the experience that everybody wants, and you guys nail it because it's, again, like, it's not about the harvest. It's about the whole entire experience. And the fact of the matter is, too, is like, okay, so this is in that's Waupaca portion, but not all the hunting happens in Waupaca County.
No, I think we're just general vicinity.
Vicinity.
We got guys hunting in Amherst and Waupaca. And
There's
Allman.
Washera County, there's Washano County.
Yeah.
The idea behind it is you don't have to live in Waupaca, Washera, Shawano to participate in this. Like you said, you can come from the Milwaukee area. You can come from way up north.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got to get there, and there's hotels like in the area. Check them all out.
Yeah.
But the thing is like,
believe it or not, there is some
some
hotels in Waupaca.
Well, and if you own a hotel in Waupaca and you want to cut people a discount, I mean, with gas prices the way they are, reach out to Charlie at the Waupaca Learn to Hunt Facebook page. But like, the thing about it is you just encourage people to report back around lunchtime, Saturday and Sunday.
And that's when we're doing all the raffles. We're taking pictures, weighing the birds, getting their measurements, and just honestly, I think most people that's it.
Yeah.
Just people are telling the stories and kind of just regrouping and another just awesome thing is there's mentors not seeing birds, their spots have dried up. There's other mentors who have tagged out who are like, you're coming with me.
Yep.
And, so it's kind of it's a home base, and every Sunday is always a little bit of a shuffleboard because there's mentors who had those spots dry up, and other mentors are tagged out. And so, we kind of report back there and regroup once on Saturday and once on Sunday.
And if you can't make both days, don't get discouraged either, because you put a lot more pressure if you can only hunt like Saturday.
Yeah.
Your mentor is going to want you to be successful, and they're going to probably want you to try to hunt as much of the day as you can. But you obviously got to do the Thursday thing in order to get the tag, which again, the tag is free. The state provides the tags for this event. But then your chances of being more successful are going to happen if you can hunt Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's no requirement. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're signing up and taking a spot and taking that mentor, that can be kind of exclusive, but are you going to, so we'd like you to be out there, but we have every year where, I tell you, if you've ever hunted for that long straight, 6 hours and then lunch and then another 6 hours, it's intense. I mean, it can be, you and I both know, it can be boring at times.
There's been a lot of times where I've spent more time hunting a turkey than I have hunting a deer.
Well, and that's what's great about our mentors, do a great job of reading kids. Okay, this kid's, if we go out at 1 o'clock, there ain't no way we're going to make it till 7. And I know the birds are coming by at 6 or whatever, Warden John, whatever the times are. Whatever the times are.
You gotta check your regulations.
Check the regs.
Yep.
But, so our mentors are great at saying, let's go drive around and let's go, or I have a good midday spot, a swamp or something. Let's go see if we can get a 130 gobbler fired up. And, our mentors just do a great job of reading their hunters and making it work.
Making adjustments in the field and everything like that. But yeah, it's again, everybody, it's April 9th and 10th. Go to Waupaca Learn to Hunt if you're interested in how to be a part of it. Sign up there, everything like that. The cool thing is we talked about it. It's free. There's guns can be provided if you don't have the top-notch equipment. Like, you don't need the most high-end camouflage. Most of the time, you're just wearing a black sweatshirt, hoodie, jacket, whatever it may be, because you want to be, and they go over this in the course, but most of the time you want to be kind of dressed in black if you're hunting out of a ground blind.
Yeah.
But you don't need the best thing I would encourage somebody is a good pair of boots.
Yeah.
Warm pair of boots.
Waterproof, usually that time of the year.
Waterproof, and, whether it's just not brightly colored, but like snow pants and a nice jacket. You could always take it off in the blind.
A lot of first-time hunters, they're in snow pants.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what I mean? You don't need, and again, that's one of those nice things where if there's a little bit of heads up, hey, my kid's whatever, 5'2", wears a small.
Yep. And
we have a little bit of a heads up. We make it happen.
We can make it happen. So we kind of covered a lot of like the benefits of participating, and and the fact that it's not just stuck to like Waupaca County, but like you're kind of covering the conservation side of it, the things that you've gained from being in the program. What about some interesting stories? Like, I want to get into some of the photos you provided me with, but I have a couple of great stories, but I want to hear some of the success or some of the fun stories that and as long as we're not saying names and embarrassing people, if not, but anyways, like, tell some of the great stories that you've been a part of with this Learn to Hunt.
Where to start? I mean, I'll go off my last one. So as a mentor, I take a ton of pride in being prepared.
Yep.
I really do. I've never not been prepared. And the last Learn to Hunt, kind of fumbling around. I had recently moved, so my garage was a disaster. I couldn't find shells.
Okay.
And I text a fellow mentor, I need some 20 gauge shells. No problem. I roll in, grab them.
Yep.
Fast forward at Saturday morning, we're in the blind. Time to load up the gun. I don't like loaded guns in the dark. There's no point.
Right.
Let's load them in the blind. Not fitting.
Oh no.
12 gauge shells.
For a 20 gauge. Tell me a tom didn't come in.
Well, at least I was prepared in my time. They're starting to gobble. It's dark. I know the landowner very well, past the point of we go knock on his door. You got any 20 gauge shells?
At like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning?
He's in his underwear. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, his family. So I'm like, I need some 20 gauge shells. He's like, I don't have any. We looked. He's like, here's this 12 gauge. The gun was as tall as my kid.
Yep.
And long story short, we get the 12 gauge. circle all the way back to the blind. We had already snuck in and got set up. And patience, man, we ended up shooting a gobbler.
Really?
Like 3 hours later. That was a fun one. Another one I think you have a picture of.
Okay, now let me see. I'm going to try to pilot this ship. Let's see here. So which one am I?
One.
The snow one.
First one.
Okay, yeah. Let me get this here, and then I'll bring it back up. Andy, be patient with me. It did it again, Andy, where I got to refresh it. Hang on here. Let's see here.
Will I know when it popped up?
Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see it here. Okay, so we got to go to the snow one, and then we're going to go here. Okay, this
Awesome.
is the image you're talking about.
Yeah, that was a cool hunt. That hunt, when we went out, there was no snow on the ground. So that's April in Wisconsin, right?
Yep.
I think we get more snow in March and April than we do January, February.
As of late,
But I just remember that hunt because of all of a sudden that gobbler actually was roosted right above us, and he ended up pitching out into the field, and we shot him, I don't know, 3-4 hours after he pitched down. But it's beautiful. I don't know.
Oh,
I remember. I'll never forget
picture.
that snow. If you zoom in on the hen decoy, I think it's actually 2-3 inches right on her.
Right on the back, you can see that.
That was a fun one. I actually was able to, I believe the year before or 2 years before, get her sister's first bird as well.
Oh, really?
So that's the younger sister.
Well, and in the background there, you can kind of see off to her right-hand shoulder, depending on which way you're looking at it, there's the blind.
Yep.
And so you can kind of get an idea for those who have never seen a ground blind or hunted at a ground blind. You can see a small window. I mean, you're out of the elements. Can you imagine if you were sitting on the ground when all that snow comes?
I actually lost my cell phone in this whole commotion.
But yeah, you say you're organized and ready to go.
Well, it was all the excitement.
Right.
We were commotion. All of a sudden, we get in my truck. I'm like, I don't have my phone.
Did you find it?
I did. I knew right where I fell out. So
Yeah.
Another kind of cool thing, or just talking out loud about the program. Her dad was with. So we encourage.
Yep.
Parents, if you want to come, great. If mom wants to come, great. If brother or sister just are a little nervous about guns or something, and they just want to get that experience, there's room for a couple in the blind. Usually not 5 or 6, but I've been in a few packed blinds.
Tight situations. So we're kind of going through some of the more of the success pictures here. Man, that's a gorgeous picture. I don't know who took that.
I'm taking credit.
You did. That's a great job, man.
Here's a fun little story about this hunt. That's the same place from my first story where I told you we forgot the gun.
Okay.
Same place. That's one of my buddy classmates, Tyler, the mentor. They were in birds all day on Saturday, so they actually didn't come to lunch. He's like, I can't get out. And I was able to shoot a bird. I think that was the same year of the last photo with the snow, and it started to melt.
Okay, yeah, we'll go back. So yeah,
see it in the background. But I was sneaking to his blind. I was gonna sit with him for the afternoon and film him.
Yeah.
And I get about 30 yards behind Tyler's blind, and I get a text, stop. So I'm in a little pine thicket. Boom! About like 1:30 in the afternoon, and so then I was able to obviously take these pictures because
you were right there.
Right there, it scared the bejeebies out of me.
So let's go. I want to show a couple more of the success pictures. Here's one that really kind of caught my eye too. This is a double, right? You have footage of this one?
I do. I think that's on YouTube.
Is it?
I have that hunt on YouTube, and you want to talk about just that entire experience. We had 2 or 3 gobblers in our decoys, like mature toms. So obviously these are both jakes. And when I say obviously, if you notice the middle 4 tail feathers on both turkey are taller. That's one sign of a jake. But we had gobblers right in by us, but we had so many birds in. I kept, if you listen to the video, I'm like, yes, no, 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 yes, no. But there's that delay, and we just weren't able to get a shot at gobblers, and the jakes were the last ones to kind of hang out, and we were able to get Mom threw the hammer down with the shotgun, and then Johnny, his father is an instrumental part of our organization. Johnny was able to pop one off with the crossbow second, so that was awesome.
I remember watching that, and you'll have to go back and share that too.
I'll put a couple, what I'm going to do at some point tonight, because after this...
You're getting fired up, man.
Well, after this, I'm actually headed to a meeting, Learn to Hunt meeting tonight.
Oh, sweet.
So maybe later I'll go on and post some of our relevant. So we have a handful of videos.
What did you say? His name is John?
Johnny, yep.
So Johnny, he actually won a crossbow. The Real Shot donated a crossbow, a Carbon Express crossbow, and I think he won it.
He
one
could
year.
have.
Yeah.
He's like 7 foot now.
Is he's got to be almost to the age where he can mentor now, isn't he?
You know what?
He
I
might be
think
like-
this is the first year, and what did Mike tell me? He's somewhere. It's like he was so pumped. I think he's 19, actually. I think
Okay.
last year might have been the first year, and we can't, the state,
Yeah,
we
'cause
couldn't
of
have it.
COVID, yep.
And then the last 2 years. But yeah, Johnny is actually old enough now, and that'll be, maybe he's the next Charlie. Maybe he'll take over
Maybe
the
he'll
program.
take over the program. So
But,
here we got, this is Jerry, right?
Jerry.
Jerry's been a part of the program forever.
Jerry's
dude.
an OG.
Jerry is the one that got me introduced to being a mentor in the program.
Awesome.
Jerry Ruley, yep. And look at that. That's another Jake. You can kind of see
Yep.
the tail feathers are a little higher, but we talked about ladies getting into the program.
Love it.
That's awesome. And then, so we got some more here. Here's another success picture. That's another great picture. So let me guess, you took that one?
I actually didn't. And actually, I think we got to give Luke some credit. This might be a selfie.
Oh, like
I
they
think
set
with
the
the
camera
timer
up?
and the
Really?
tripod and everything, Luke's pretty gun-ho. He's a diehard. And then again, a good kind of success story talking about people when they get a little older. Kyle, know Kyle pretty well. Kyle was probably right around 30 years old when he shot this bird.
Okay.
So, and his mentor is younger than him. So I just, how cool is that?
Right.
Kyle's really gotten into hunting the last few years. Kyle, you may have a shotgun of mine right now.
I might need that back before April 9th.
I just remember that. Dougie, if you're watching this, remind me. I borrow so much stuff, and I don't even know where it goes, and I guess at the end of the day, I don't really care if I get it back.
Yeah.
I'm always, I can't find my stuff because I don't have it.
Right.
But yeah, that was Luke, Waupaca guy, and Kyle's Waupaca guy.
So here's
I
a
think they were
picture.
hunting in Wild Rose area, actually.
This is Brooks Farm right here,
Yep.
and this is like from the Thursday night event.
Yep, so this is Thursday, and this is after we ate and after we did the range. This is Warden John doing his presentation. And so you can kind of see parents and participants and, I know Ian in the front looks like he's about to.
He's full of Little Caesars or something.
He is full of Little Caesars right there. So yeah, this is just kind of during our presentation. And the presentations go from about 5:30 to 8. It's 2.5 hours. There's like 5 or 6 different people chopped up into 20 minutes. We give them a little break. And
Yep.
So it's really 4 hours, but the range is an hour and a half. Throw dinner in there, and a couple hours of good educational, good information.
I might be sitting on the steps back there. That might be me. I might have been a little late that day. We had a track meet or something like that, and I got in a little late for that one. But here's the range. We talked about the range. Here
Yep.
we're shooting some shotguns.
Yeah, and too, like we've had some people spend some serious time on the range and talking about guns, and I hate guns. I hate loud noises. I'm a huge archery guy, and everyone's always like, "Oh, why archery?" It has nothing to do with I love archery. I hate guns.
Yeah.
So, learning getting people at that range that, I remember at one point, and I think it was during this program, they were putting blanks in on me, and I was
Just to get the recoil down.
So yeah, just that anticipation. So it's awesome. We have guys that know what they're doing,
Yep.
that run the range, and really getting people dialed in. Because at the end of the day, if you're not comfortable pulling that trigger, we don't want you out there.
Yeah.
Or we want you out there, but not with a gun.
So this is the last picture we provided, but here's a good group of the participants. This is
And this is participants only.
Yeah.
This isn't mentors. This isn't. That's literally just hunters. So that was a big group that year.
This was at the Waupaca Firehouse. I remember. This is before you moved to the Brooks Farm.
Yeah, you might be right. We bounced around a little bit for a couple years trying to find a home, and Brookses have welcomed us. But yeah, take that number. So take that number, multiply it by 2, and then add parents. Thursday night, there's probably 75 people.
Oh yeah, on a good year.
Yeah, on a good year, 20, 25 participants, 20, 25 mentors and parents, and there's always siblings. People always ask me that, hey, Thursday, there's younger brothers and sisters, can they tag along? And absolutely, let's get them on the range, let's pound some rounds, they can have dinner, and they're not necessarily going to be hunting, but bring them.
Yep.
You know, bring them. Let's get that experience.
And again, it's all about the experience. So to kind of remind everybody, it's April 9th and 10th. Go to Waupaca Learn to hunt to learn more information, to reach out to Charlie.
Yeah, my numbers, I think I should check, but my number's right on the page.
Yep.
Again, if you message that page, I'm usually pretty prompt. I'm gonna give myself a little out right now. I recently started my own business, have a 9-month-old, so if I don't get back to you right away, I promise I will.
Yep.
Sometimes I leave them. I'm that guy who will leave stuff unopened, because if I open it and don't respond,
then you feel bad about it.
well, then I'll.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, geez, I miss it. So I will respond. I promise.
So I want to go back to like the stories, because like I have a couple of good ones.
Yeah, I want to hear a couple, Matt.
So I remember you were talking about going on the range and shooting a gun, and I had a young kid. I think he was from the Waupaca area, and actually I think Austin and I still chat every once in a while.
Oh, okay. Ponko?
Ponko, yes, yeah. And I met Austin. Yeah. Anyways, so
I think he used my gun. I'm not sure.
he might have. So we went out and we went to the range, and Austin was a little gun shy, and that's fine. You know, because I kind of feel the same way you do. Like, I'd rather archery than shotgun, but now, like, or 20 gauge at least. You know, 3.5-inch load for turkeys, that's a lot of boom.
I'm 2 3/4 20 gauge single shot. That's how I got rid of my 12 gauge.
Right.
But anyways.
So we're on the range and he's shooting, and he's not really excited about shooting a 12 gauge. But this is the gun that we had at the time. This is the gun he had to use. So we did the range stuff. And then I took him out, because this is Thursday, right? So then we go Friday, and I pick him up, and we go scouting. And I gained some awesome permission by the Wolf River near the New London area. And we go out, and I put the blind out. He helps me put the blind out. Anyway, so on and so forth. And we get into Saturday morning. I pick him up. We're going out there, and we're running a little bit behind schedule. It's starting to get pink light out, and I'm like, oh, man. So we get in. I set up the decoys. I get in the blind. And as I'm walking back he's in the blind. As I'm walking back to the blind, birds start pitching.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh. So he looks at me. He's like, what does that mean? I go, it's going to go one of two ways, right? We're either not going to see a thing, or we're going to end up getting one. And then, so it was hens. I think it was hens that started pitching first. And then a tom gobbles out of the same tree as where everything else left. And he's looking at me. I'm like, well, dude, I think this turkey knows we're here.
Sure.
But we're not going anywhere, so let's see how this pans out.
Catch that second cycle, that 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah. No. This bird flies down, and he does this. He looks at us. He looks the way the hen went, and he looks back at us, and on a dead march, he comes running right in. And I'm like, there's no way this is going to happen. So Austin is up, and I'm coaching him. Like you said, we're mentoring him. We're like, we're in the game now, buddy. We got to go. So the tom comes in, and I have a strutter decoy at probably like 10 yards. And this bird comes in, and he's right in, and I go, as soon as he clears the fan on my tom, dust him. So sure enough, it comes out, and I know I have video footage of this someplace. And all of a sudden I go, take him. Boom! He drops him, and I'm like, yeah, we got him. And it's so early that I look, and I'm like, where did he go? We're in a blind. I'm like, I can't see. It's dark in the blind. I look, and he's laying on the blind floor. The 12 gauge, he was so focused on shooting, the 12 knocked him off the chair.
Yeah.
And he was laying on the blind floor, and he's like, did I get him? I'm like, you dusted him, man. Let's go out there. But one thing that, besides that, I'll never forget about that hunt was we get up to the tom, and there's no tail feathers. And I'm like, oh, not a big deal, man. He shot the tail feathers off. But I'm like, this bird never strutted. So somehow this tom, winter, frozen, coyote, something like that, lost his tail feathers, but he still had like a 9 or 10 inch beard. It was a beautiful tom. But what I'm realizing is when you're a part of the Learn to Hunt and you're a part of these mentoring things, like the hunt goes way better for them than you'll ever experience on your own as a turkey hunter.
Oh man, yeah, that's awesome. Just you telling that story just reminded me of. I got other ones.
Yeah, go for it, man.
I got 2 ones that stuck out to me, and here's a little plug, like you said, coming late. You know, for you people, participants, you can learn what to do from your mentor, and what not to do. Right. I mean, you're gonna learn one way or the other. But this was one of my first hunts. We're on an awesome piece, and got the blind set up. The dad's with, and I am, let's just call me 19. I am a broke college student. All right, and I'm pretty sure my dad was an investor, a Rhino XP1 blind. That was probably, again, 10 years ago. And a couple $100. It was a big purchase for me. I had been hunting in those raggedy, just not good blinds.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, I just got done telling the dad. He's like, oh, why do you have the window open this way? I said, I have scouted this piece. I have never seen a bird that to the right. They will not come from the right. He's like, all right, well, it just looks like they could. I'm like, dude, I've been hunting this parcel a long time. Just listen to me. And 2 minutes later, goblin to our right, pitches down to our right, windows closed. Kids, we get him twisted, and he's ready to go. And it's those shoot-through windows.
Oh, yeah, the mesh. Yep.
And the dad looks at me, and I know him, his family. At that time, it was my girlfriend's uncle.
Okay.
And he's like, can we shoot through that window? I'm like, if you buy me a new one. If you buy me a new one. He's like, deal.
Boom.
Man, and then that same property, years later, I took a kid out. We ended up killing there, but I took a kid out for the learn to hunt, and we didn't get a bird. Man, we hunted hard. He actually hit one with his bow. I have no idea how we didn't recover it.
Yep.
I don't know if you ever saw that footage. The thing did the death flop, laid there, and then got up and ran.
Yep.
But fast forward, we don't have any luck harvesting a bird in the learn to hunt. That same kid, his grandpa was calling me. This kid, he got the itch. He just wanted to turkey hunt, just wanted to hunt. And I ended up taking him out in 5th or 6th season. And we hunted hard. I ended up getting full body poison ivy, and we were on the last hunt, or the last sit. I'm like, hey, this is it, man. I can't do it anymore. And we ended up killing a bird behind a strutter, stalking through the middle of a field.
Oh, like reaping it?
Reaping it.
Dude.
Yeah, back in.
Not with a bow, though.
No, he ended up going with a shotgun. So,
Yep.
Just things happen and adjusting. And, that same kid, we ended up getting a bird that same year, but not in the learn to hunt. That Sunday, the last day of the hunt, just talk about learning lessons, and he switched to a gun. He was a little upset and just whatever. And we snuck on birds, and it was like we hunted so hard. That kid was hardcore.
Yep.
I'm telling you, he hunted harder. I mean, wow, that kid was hardcore.
You get out of the hunt when you wouldn't have put in.
College football, great athlete. But he gets up on a bird, and somewhere along the stalk, my sight on the shotgun, something broke and fell off. So he's like, "There's no sight." I'm like, "Yeah, there is. The two and the 2 green and 1 red, or vice versa. Just we had worked on it, and then he said it's not there, and I grabbed the gun, and so this kid was devastated.
Yeah.
And just kept, hey, I want to go out. So just those memories, and that kid. I mean, it was just awesome to see that desire. I've never had somebody hunt so hard in 2 days.
Are they getting close to the age of mentoring as well?
You know what? I should reach out to him. He's been in college playing football.
Yeah,
I'm gonna butcher his name. It's Mikhail. Don't be mad at me. Mikhail Harn. So
Okay.
If Mel owned the Chain BP, which is now the Chain Cenex.
Oh, yeah.
Now his son,
Ben,
Ben, owns it.
Yes.
So he's always been a great supporter with Subway and Ice. And, man, Mel still just, he never forgets, me taking his kid out and how much fun, or his grandson.
There's a bunch of pictures in that gas station of, like, deer and things that they, I do.
I think he has, again, Mikhail, if I said your name wrong.
Well, you got to be a mentor so that he can be Charlie again.
He's so much bigger.
He played football,
he is
man.
jacked. But I think he's got one of his deer up in the gas station.
Yeah.
As well. So, and they've always been, just the local support we get from everybody. Just it's awesome.
Well, and that was one of my other questions is, so, okay, let's say they don't want to be a mentor, or the schedule doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Do you look for volunteers in other ways? Do you look for, like, donations? I mean, obviously this program, because it's free, it costs something to somewhere down the line.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to help in some way, shape, or form, obviously volunteering is always great. We do pretty good there. But if you want to volunteer, we'll take you in some way, shape, or form. But man, just donating. I always get people through social media. I've had people I've never even really met. We just have passions, and you know how it is, social media. You don't have to follow your friends, just other people like the same stuff. I've had guys, I have a buddy I met through some deer hunting, Justin Bates down in Tennessee, old drop tine, that's what we call him. You know, I think a couple years ago he sent me a $300 check. He's just
Wow.
a guy. It's like, you know, I've had another guy on Instagram just kind of followed me and man, you know, sent me a decoy. So yeah, I mean, money's great, right? Everyone loves it, but that's how we operate. Again, that's why it's free, because we are able to pay for all the meals and all the prizes.
Yep.
You know, so I mean, raffle items are great.
Yeah, raffle items as well.
Even like have an old site, old whatever. You know how we roll.
Oh yeah.
We're always upgrading, and there's a $200 site sitting on the bench that you keep saying you're going to use.
Yeah.
So you know, even stuff like that, or just anything.
Anything. Yep.
So,
like you said, I mean, it costs something somewhere down the line in order for it to be free for everybody that's participating. So like, you know, if you a raffle prize, a donation, again, go to Waupaca Learn to Hunt to help out. I mean, help out this organization, and then you're going to find out that maybe next year you're our mentor, or next year you are a hunter or a participant in another way. I mean, it's such a great program, and again, we got to remember the DNR likes these kind of things. That's why they introduce them, because turkey might lead into deer. They have learn to hunt deer programs in the state of Wisconsin. And, you know, there's so many opportunities if you are looking to be an outdoors man or woman. Reach out to these programs that our state puts on. They are absolute top-notch programs.
And we talked on the phone a little bit this morning. Like we said this morning, you know, there's power in numbers, and it's our responsibility.
Yep.
You know? It's our responsibility to go get kids, get them off the computer, get them off their phone, let's get them in the outdoors. You know, we need licenses need to be bought. That's a big thing.
Yes.
You know, at the end of the day, you know, hunting is conservation. The bird watchers aren't spending hundreds of dollars on licenses every year. We are. You know, and I do take that serious, because there's a lot of money coming in. You know, and that's awesome. That's what we need, you know, in order to have public lands, buy new public lands. I mean, you know, that's not my specialty, but get people enrolled in programs and MFL land, and you know, just that getting hunting to grow. You know, it's not a selfish sport. We don't want people not hunting, so we have thousands of acres to hunt. That's not reality.
Right.
We need people out. You know,
it just let's grow
crossbows,
the sport.
Guns. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
And that's what I think that's such a great point. I mean, the conservation, and you don't know what that one thing may be where you make a difference in somebody's life. I mean, listening to you're working with Brian, and how everything he kind of taught you through this program has grown with you throughout your adulthood.
Yeah, I mean, I worked for a decoy company. I went from not growing up as a hunter to working for a very large, reputable decoy company.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and it's been a huge part of my life. You know, I did it as filming hunting as a professional.
You grasped hold of it, and you made it part of your career.
It was a
for
great
a while.
opportunity, and my passion grew. And without, you know, I mean, I had friends, and we were slinging arrows and stuff, but just being around, you know, the adults and kind of like, this is how you should do it.
Yep.
You know, again, we talked about the etiquette and learning how to maintain relationships.
Yep.
You know, through private properties and that type of thing. So
yeah, and it may not be the harvest. It may be something you did that is going to be a lifelong moment for that individual that they're going to take with them, whether they're, like we said, whether they're 10 or, you know, beyond that age. It's something that you can do to, you know, have a lasting moment or memory with this individual, and hopefully get them into the outdoors and everything like that. So we're going to wrap this one up, but again, it's crazy how fast an hour goes, man, isn't it? We're just talking about...
Time flies when you're having fun.
It is. So
talk turkeys.
let everybody know, again, it's where to go, the dates, and then anything else you want to kind of plug about the event.
So just final wrap up. If you have any questions, ask. You know, like, just reach out if there's anything. You know, reach out. Go to the Facebook page, Waupaca Learn to Hunt. My number's on there. Shoot a message. Again, the hunt's the 9th and the 10th, the weekend before the youth hunt.
Yep.
You know, that's why I always pick it. That way I can get mentors. I need mentors, you know, and land permission and stuff like that. And, you know, the event night is mandatory. That is one thing. We need you there on Thursday night. It has to happen.
Yep.
So, that is one thing a lot of people ask. And another, if you don't have your hunter safety and you want to do it, you need a DNR number. No worries. You can get a DNR number without
hunter safety.
Yep, and it's pretty easy. You can call, or I actually have the links saved in my computer. So if you message me on Facebook, I can shoot them to you. It's, again, pretty easy.
Yeah, it's the, what's the new thing we have? I can't even remember.
Go Wild.
Go Wild, you just have to have a Go Wild, a DNR
Go Wild,
number.
and it's pretty easy. And actually this is a little stipulation, but when you have to do it, you're supposed to put in your driver's license. If you don't have a driver's license, you just don't touch it and you leave it in select.
Yeah.
That's like a little asterisk that people always call me on. Hey, it says I need my driver's license. Nope, when you click that little button, has the double arrows and it says select, and then it has every state. If you just leave it at select, it lets you keep going.
Yeah, because once you turn 16, I sold hundreds and thousands of licenses. Yeah, it's really easy. You can handle it. You can do it on Go Wild.
Yeah, you can do it over the phone or on your phone.
On your phone. I don't think it's... Just go to the app. I have it downloaded, and it's actually pretty cool. Like our state's getting better and better. Like, the app is really functional with the times, the regulations, what seasons are open, what seasons. Yeah. I mean, there's so much. They're doing a lot of great things. Like the other thing, and maybe we can talk about this another time, is like the DMAP type stuff. I'm getting interested in the deer map stuff. Yeah. But again, it's the Waupaca Learn to Hunt is what we're trying to tell everybody about. April 9th and 10th. Look them up on Facebook. Get a hold of Charlie. Is there a deadline when you want people signed up for it?
I mean, at the end of the day, there is an official deadline, but it's nice. The sooner you sign up, our limiting factor every year for me is mentors.
Yep.
If I only have 20 mentors, I only have 20 spots. And we usually float pretty tight to say that 25 mark. So, the sooner the better.
Yep.
Because then you're locked in. Because when people start calling and I'm overbooked, I say, hey, I got you on the sign up. People always, things happen. People double book on a baseball tournament or whatever. But, come to the event night Thursday, and hopefully somebody shoots a bird Saturday morning, and you can jump in. And we always have that. You know? So
there's always, and then again too, like if you're interested in being a member, or if you have land that you're willing to open up for this event, again, reach out to Charlie and Waupaca Learn to Hunt. There's a lot of things you can do and not even be there as a participant or as a mentor. I mean, there's so many things. We talked about donations, raffles, all that kind of stuff. You got to do it all on Waupaca Learn to Hunt. So any final thoughts here before we wrap this one up? I know I'm excited for it. I'm ready to get back into it. 2-year drought of not being able to do this. I think crazy. People are ready for events like this to happen.
It's just my favorite. It's one of my favorite weekends of the year. I love getting in the woods a couple weeks earlier. I mean, as a mentor or a hunter, come and join us. You get to hit the woods legally 2 to 3 weeks before you otherwise would be. I mean, what else do you want? So if you're a guy or girl and you want a mentor, reach out. We'd love to have you. Again, that's our limiting factor. I never have. There's always more hunters than mentors. That's my limiting factor is mentors. So if you're thinking about it, let's do it.
Perfect. Let's make it happen. Well, thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Charlie, buddy, thanks for joining me tonight.
It was fun.
Again, thank you so much to The Real Shot. Remember, if you use TGL20 when you check out it with $100 or more on regular priced items, we'll save you $20. Again, 20% off turkey stuff, 40 to 50% off ice clothing, and then 3 new limited edition Rip and Wraps will be dropping tomorrow at 9 a.m. So have a great night, everybody. Hopefully we get to see you April 9th and 10th. First of all, the 7th, though, at the Waupaca Learn to Hunt. I know Charlie and I are super stoked. So have a good night, and we'll talk to you real soon.